When you look at this Cubs roster, one thing that you realize is that Michael Busch is an unsung hero, and he's a rising star. And he may end up being the best player on the Cubs team when it's all said and done. He's on the top 10 list, but what does it really matter? You look at what he brings to the table, and you realize, hey, the Cubs might have had the biggest steal when they traded the Dodgers to get him a couple of years ago. We're going to talk about Miguel Amaya. We're going to talk about Jonathon Long, a couple of other guys that might back up Michael Busch. And the Nico Hoerner trade talk never stops. I'm going to get into that as well. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Help us get to 10,000. We're on our way there. We're steamrolling to that number, and we appreciate you guys for helping us do that. Let's get this show started. Good to see you, and go Cubs. Hey, everybody, Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball Channel. Great to see you guys today and talk a little bit of Cubs. Hey, another episode of Beer Money with Jody Davis coming out Sunday, so make sure that you guys check out the 2 episodes before every Sunday. We're going to try to drop a new show with the Cubs Hall of Famer. All right, let's get started here. Maybe a potential future Cubs Hall of Famer, Michael Busch, right? Who is your favorite all-time Cubs first baseman? I mean, let's go back, right? Mark Grace, love Mark Grace, was my guy when I was a kid. Anthony Rizzo got us their World Series, one of the best. Derek Lee was a great first baseman. Cubs have had some really good first basemen over the years, right? Wasn't it Fred McGriff? I could sit here and name guys, but I'm telling you, this Michael Busch is kind of a silent but deadly type of player that I don't feel like gets enough credit, right? And some of you are saying silent but deadly. I know what that means. No, what it means is that this guy has done nothing but rise. Cubs traded the Dodgers to get him. They didn't have a spot for him because they got Freddie Freeman, right? Rookie season, guy hits 21 home runs. Last year, you start looking at these numbers. He had 261, 34 home runs, 90 runs batted in. He's got elite power and quality of contact. I mean, he just barrels up the ball. His barrel rate went from 11.2 to 17.1 between his rookie year and his sophomore year. Supposed to be like a sophomore slump, right? That's in the 95th percentile of the league, and his exit velocity is 92.2 miles an hour. That's 90th percentile, okay? What I really like about him, though, is his plate discipline. You can see him growing as a player with the way that he takes pitches, right? He's a patient hitter. He's going to wait on the pitches that he can put in play. He reduced his strikeout rate from 28.6 in 2024 to 23.5 last year, and a lot less chases. And that is a good thing. You're talking about smarter, not harder swing, right? Like taking advantage of what he does so well. And when you look at it, and I know a lot of you guys are like, this is too much analytics, Mick. I get it too, but the launch angle consistency is also off the chart, man. Like 96 percentile, hitting the ball in the sweet spot. What does all that mean? What it means is that this guy is the key to the Cubs having a run at the World Series. He's going to want to upend his former team, and he always seems to have big games against the Dodgers, and I love that, right? And he doesn't need Pete Crow Armstrong talking smack about the team that he grew up as his hometown team, the Dodgers, to get him fired up. So the Cubs first baseman is ranked in the top 10 and first baseman on some lists. Some of them he's been left off on, right? But Bleacher Report has him ranked as a top 10 first baseman. I'm telling you right now, when I look at this roster, I feel like he's the guy who we kind of look at and we're like, okay, defensively, getting better. Offensively, getting better. Like, you look at those numbers and it's like hard to kind of like forget about what he meant to the team last year. And then the analytics are there with him. And then remember when he was in the minor leagues, the Cubs had to make a big trade to get him. A lot of you guys were on the channel telling me, hey, the Cubs are going to trade for this guy. Cubs are going to trade. And they did. They did. Like, you guys got in the comments section when I started this channel, and you're like, Michael Busch, Michael Busch. We did it. And all he's done is grow 2 straight years to the point now where it feels like this is going to be his, I can't even say it's a breakout season, because last year he put up incredible numbers, but I feel like this is the season where he gets recognized as one of the super elite first base players in the league. It's a tough position. It's a position, and when I say tough, it's tough because there's a lot of good first basemen. There's no doubt he's in the top 10. And if you leave him out of the top 10, you're being ridiculous. But I think that he's ready to be a consistent top 5. I think that he's ready to surpass guys like Freddie Freeman as one of the best first basemen in the league. It's a position that always seems to come with production. He's been that way for the Cubs. And I'm telling you guys right now, keep an eye on Michael Busch. He might be the most important player on this team. And when you look at those numbers from last year, you're like, man, you know what? This guy really gets it done. All right, second guy I want to talk about is Miguel Amaya, and he's getting some work at first base. Now, this doesn't surprise me at all, right? I mean, this is an insurance policy move. Bruce Levine talked about this on his Twitter, and basically it's something that we saw Amaya do a lot in the minor leagues. The Cubs play a lot of their catchers at first base in the minor leagues. It's what they do. So all of these catchers have played first base. I've seen Amaya play a ton of first base. He plays first base. He's not great at it. He's okay. But it does give you an option should something happen. You have an insurance policy, and now that the Cubs are without Austin, who's supposed to be the guy that stepped up in that role, right? Like, he's going to be your super utility guy. Tyler Austin's going to be out for a while. And so now you got to figure out other things. Now, what I will say is I miss the old National League rules, because you would see players play different positions on a more consistent basis just because of the double switches, pitchers batting, and then after that, you didn't want them to bat. But with injuries and other stuff, guys need to be practicing other spots. And I think that for Miguel Amaya to be doing that, it's nothing short of what I expect. Now, another first base Cubs player is Jonathon Long. And this is so sad. Jefferson Rojas playing shortstop, throws a bad ball. He has to reach for it, and he gets his elbow hyperextended trying to catch the ball, runs into the base runner. Definitely an early spring training issue. Jonathon Long is one of those players who isn't appreciated as much as he should be, right? And this guy was going to play for the Chinese Taipei World Baseball Classic team. Was going to be a chance for him to be on the big stage, but what they're calling a sprained elbow is keeping him off of that. It really is a damn shame. It really is. Here's a guy who was the Cubs minor league player of the year. He absolutely killed it in AAA last year. He's just begging for someone to give him a chance, because some scouts and they're like, well, I don't like this or I don't like that, but the results are there. And I wanted to see this guy get the opportunity. He just shows up every day, does things the right way. He's been a hitting machine, and he's going to miss that opportunity because of the injury. So that's a shame. And, it's disappointing, but those are the breaks. Hey guys, AveD, Mick Nation, make sure you hit that QR code right there. Be a part of what we're doing. March Madness is coming, as you know, and you got the opportunity to be a part of what we're doing March Madness wise right here on the channel. So make sure that you check that out and that you're a part of it. It's free. We also have swag. Where's the swag? Here's one right here. We give these away. We also sell them. It's the Cubs baseball channel hat. I want you guys wearing these in the bleachers. Please do that for me. All right, final thing on today's show. And this is one of those topics that you guys are always complain when I talk about it, but you can't not bring this up, right? So today, Matt Sullivan with the Sporting News, Red Sox trade idea lands Gold Glove infielder from Cubs to take Marcelo Mayer's roster spot. Okay, look, the Red Sox would love nothing better than to have Nico Hoerner on their team. They would love nothing better. I mean, like, 2-time Gold Glover, Professor Mark Gonzalez, love to say that, thinks he's the best player on the team. It's hard to argue that. And you got, Wilson Contreras, former Cub, on the team right now for the Red Sox. You got Mayer at second base. Trevor Story's at shortstop. Could you add another piece to try to compete with the Yankees? And that's what Red Sox fans want to do. And we know that Hoerner is 28. He had the best WAR of any second baseman in baseball last year, 6.2. He was fighting for a batting title. He had 297. He's also a free agent at the end of the year. And the Cubs could potentially want to trade him. They're not trading him. I mean, the Red Sox, you better come up with a package or you're not going to get him. And I think that's like, every time I see these stories, I'm like, the Cubs aren't trying to like push this guy out the door. Like, if you're going to get him, you're going to have to just totally overwhelm the Cubs with a deal. And I just don't see that happening. I just don't. And if I'm the Cubs, like, I'm pretty set with this roster right now because I'm looking at it. I'm going, you know what, man? I got Busch at first. I got Nico at second. I got Dansby at short. I got Bregman at third, right? I got Amaya and Kelly behind the plate. I'm okay with that, but I don't think that's to the level of the infield, right? But I got Happ. I got Pete Crow Armstrong, and then I got Seiya Suzuki in the outfield. Moises Ballesteros DH. I feel like I got a pretty good squad here. You take Nico out of the mix, and it's going to be, one less weapon that the Cubs have. Now, some of you guys are getting the comments, and you'll be like, well, Nico always batted at the bottom of the lineup. They did. And I think a lot of us got frustrated with it. Like, why not put him up higher? Dansby Swanson, we love him at the bottom of the lineup because he's a bottom of the lineup producer. But Nico, on the other hand, has not been that way. I feel like Nico's been kind of that one go-to guy. Sometimes, though, when you move guys around in the lineup, they don't produce. I don't know. I think Nico's good enough to do that. So, anyway, that's where we are today. Appreciate you guys for being on here. Make sure that you like and subscribe and be part of the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. When we get there, we're going to try to do something else, but we're steaming towards that goal. Share, comment, and be a part of our Web3 home. Cubs, obviously getting to the point now where the team's going to start breaking off players to these World Baseball Classic teams, and that's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens. Can't wait to see Pete Crow Armstrong in that Team USA uniform. That's going to be just fire, along with Alex Bregman. And after USA Hockey won, I think USA Baseball is going to want to follow suit. It's cool to win, man. Beautiful thing. All right, guys. Thank you. And again, we'll do it again tomorrow.